Welcome back, Jacky.
Oh, you called me by my real name this time. Thanks, Scott. How are you, mate?
I'm very well, thank you.
Nice to see you back down in London again.
Yeah, it's hectic, innit? Hectic life.
Could you not live down here?
No.
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 Oh, you're near Manchester now, though, aren't you? So it's kind of near a city.
Yeah, but yeah. Obviously, we travelled out of London a lot now, but yeah, I don't know. Could you live in London?
Not anymore.
You're not in London. You're...
No, but I'm near enough. But I did used to live in London. I lived in London for 6 years.
Yeah.
Long time ago now. I think 2019 I left. But anyway, enough waffle. I want to talk to you today about something I didn't know, which is the amount we've had in payouts. Now, we've been so busy the last 3-4 months. I would say actually all of this year, maybe 5 months this year, building the new dashboard, the new website. That took so much manpower. Now we've obviously got the big promos and stuff to celebrate our first birthday. But none of us have stopped to look at the payouts. Like how much?
Yeah, I sort of knew, but yeah.
But actually looking at it from like a macro standpoint, how much we've actually done in payouts, and I want to tell everyone today what we've done.
Yeah, so we've done 1.1 million in payouts, and 75% of that is from after August. So
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So when we started Nostro, we were pretty slow, to be fair. Like I've covered this before on here, but
What do you mean slow?
Well,
with the payouts?
yeah, we give an awful lot more accounts than people were taking. So like when we launched, we obviously give, before we'd even sold an account, we'd give away, I think 12,000 5k free step accounts. So yeah, and then we had a lot of traders in, but yeah, the growth in Nostro, in the number of payouts we're starting to do, it's been crazy.
And I've seen also there's some specific traders within the business. We don't have to talk about them specifically, 'cause I think we'll probably do that another time. But we've got certain traders who have been consistent and haven't just got 1 or 2 payouts. We've got some traders getting double-digit payouts, haven't we?
Yeah, double digits. Just processing like a guy this morning. He's on his 3rd payout in 6 weeks, like 2.5 grand, 2 grand.
Third payout in 6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 weeks, 3 grand. I think he's done like 8.5, 9 grand in $9,000 in like 6 weeks, which is mad. And then I had to look at his profile, and he's like 21.
He's 21-year-old.
He's 21-year-old, and you're like, wow, this kid, he's 21-year-old, and he's just like, he's earned like $9,000 in payouts.
That's
as
amazing.
well.
Haven't we had someone who've done double digits, so as in they've had more than 10 or more payouts?
Yeah, we've had quite a few. There's a guy, he's actually one of our top members in our Discord. He's give him a shout out on Twitter if you want to give him a follow. He's called Santosh Kala. I can't remember if I think he's Philippine, so I think he posted yesterday that he's on his 14th payout.
14th
And I think a majority of them are from this year. So the data I'm looking at now as well is, which is pretty mad, right, is when we first launched, right, we launched with hardly any rules, right? At the time, there was not a lot of rules in. There was like max risk. No one had max risk on trades. We've got like a consistency score. We never had any of these sort of rules in place. Obviously, we've had these as we go along just to make Nostro sustainable. But one of the big data points that I look at, right, from adding these rules in is it's gone sort of the other way with like traders that do get to funded. Yeah. Like before that, the average people were like 98% of people were losing their account
at funded.
No, after the first payout. So they'd get a payout.
Yeah.
98% of people would not make it to payment 2. Whereas like now, 35% of people are making it to payout 2.
Why do you think that is?
A lot of traders are now forced to trade a lot more consistently. So, like, the amount of people, like I said, there's a couple of people who've, like, one guy since October, he's had like 26 payouts. He's got 3-4 accounts, and he's had 26 payouts.
He's just scaling his accounts.
And he doesn't trade. He just trades very conservatively. I think he's just got into a little bit of a routine of like, I don't need to make big amounts of money. I'd rather just keep my accounts. And like, if you think back to it, because we've both been prop firm traders, right?
Not very good ones.
There's nothing more soul destroying as when you have a funded account and you then lose that funded account. You're like, you don't want to speak to people for days. Like,
awful. I remember speaking to you and you were like, "Oh, buzzing. I don't know. You lent some money off me. I'll pay you that back next week." This is really early days, and then you were like, "Yeah, I lost that account." But we didn't speak for like 5 days. It's demoralizing. But someone like that who can come in and take their time and just trickle these payouts out week by week.
It's a massive skill, right?
It's a skill. It's psychology. It comes down to psychology, for sure.
Yeah, it does. And it's probably the biggest thing any trader needs to learn is like the revenge trading is a sickness. It is a sickness. If like for me, right, I've been doing a little bit of like trading again recently, right? But I've just started doing like swing trading because I'm like, right, I could put a trade on and then forget about that for like 2 days.
Can you do that though?
Yeah, I can actually do that.
You?
And like, so what I'd do is I'd set it up on, like, I've got like 3 monitors and then I've got like a laptop. I don't really use that often. If I trade on that laptop, close it, I'm fine. Forget about it because I'm not really as bothered now, right? But everything's not as reliant on trading either. I think that's a big thing. If you put everything, if you're it's hard to get your psychology right. Is if you're rolling on trading and you are needing the money, right? So you're desperate for that money from trading, you will take risks. Yeah. Whereas when it's like when you're locked in or you're financially stable or whatever, you can get your mindset and psychology a little bit more locked in on it. It's a bit of a tough one to sort of... It's like when you care about it too much, all you're thinking about is trading.
Well, yeah, no, that's why I remember when doing ICT years ago, and he'd say, like, if you're struggling for money, don't trade now. Because if you're trying to trade for money, you will lose because you've got this scarcity mentality, which will mean you'll double down on losses and you'll just keep edging in until you blow your accounts every time.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating, like, what makes a really, really good trader. Like, you almost need someone who's like emotionless.
Yeah, you have to control your emotions. I actually think I have a good opinion on this, actually, which, well, I'd say it's good. It's obviously biased, I'm saying it. But the rules that we put in place, for example, the consistency score, actually is edging you towards being a better trader because, obviously it's there for 2 reasons. It's there to protect us as a business. We can't just have people just going in and gambling because we don't want to find gamblers in our prop firm. But at the same time, if you can abide by a consistency score and abide by all the other rules like the max drawdown, the max daily, max overall drawdown, all those rules that are in place, it's actually naturally teaching you to be a controlled and professional trader. That's how traders trade. Yeah. Really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And some people do go all in and that's how they trade. And Martingale's one strategy where you just keep going into losses. And there's loads of different things. But what I'm saying is all the rules that we actually have implemented can technically make you a really good trader if you can stick by them. Yeah.
And the thing is, right, is trading can change. And this is like one of the best sides of running Nostro, right, is I do deal with like all the payouts or pay them, speak to a lot of traders directly, built some really, really good like relationships like with traders all over the world, people I'd probably normally never connect with, right? And some like a payout to one person, they might think, so someone in the UK might turn their nose up, oh, I've only made $300, right? $300 to someone in Uganda or in somewhere like in Africa or something like that, that's a massive like thing for their life. I've lived in South Africa. I've ran a business in South Africa. like the average wage in South Africa was like £400 a month, £500 a month. So if someone's making $300, $400 every 2 weeks, that can help their family. I sent in a Trustpilot review this morning from
I saw it.
I think Eunice. I think he had a payout actually yesterday.
I've got it here actually.
Eunice, he got a payout. It wasn't massive, right? But like that payout, you obviously do not a payout. He was on a 2.5K account.
Can I read the Trustpilot?
Yeah, read the Trustpilot because like obviously this is the sort of stuff that like trading is helping people and you don't even realise a lot of the time.
It's huge. It's huge. This is from Eunice. Is that how you say it, Eunice?
Yeah.
Thanks to Nostro, you guys have made life mad. You guys have made life easier after I lost my mother. I thought I couldn't be able to deal with the situation, but knowing Nostro changed every negativity to positivity. I was able to rent a well-furnished apartment last month. More payouts with Nostro. I mean,
yeah,
it's hard not to get a little bit emotional about that because what you've said there is bang on. It can change people's lives if they utilise a prop firm well, and this is what's happening with us, and it's great to see.
Yeah, and I think you almost want to use a prop firm as you should be using a prop firm as the end goal is you should be in a job, like bring your money in or whatever you need to do, use prop firms and use that as your side hustle, refine your skills as a trader, find what works for you, get your psychology locked in, be able to do 6 months of just dialed in, I'm only sticking to my plan, start getting some payouts, get some money behind you, and once you've done that, then go full time, utilise Nostro, utilise other prop firms, build a load of capital, and you can get yourself really, really financially stable and in a really, really good place, like by just doing 3-4% per month. If you're doing 3-4% per month over $1 million, you're absolutely
making more than 0.1%
winning at
wealth.
life. Yeah, you're winning at life, and so. Yeah, it is that side of running Nostro is actually it's the best. Yeah, when you speak to people and they're getting payouts and they're like, I've never earned this sort of money before. And like I said before, a lot of these people, a lot of people who were getting into trading, it's now glorified, right? It's everywhere. Myself, when I was like 20 or whatever, we didn't have. I sound older now, but like
you are older.
I am old. Yeah, I'm 35. So, but. When I was 20, there was no TikTok, there was no Facebook, there was no Twitter, there was all these videos of traders making money and stuff. I wouldn't have had a clue what I was trading. I'd have just seen it, what's on film and stuff like that. Whereas now, it's very accessible. And you can come in and you can basically, if you can get there's so much education out there as well. You don't need to be paying for courses. No. Like, don't go and get scammed, guys.
I've been there a few times.
Yeah, you have,
I've spent thousands on scam courses, literally thousands of dollars.
Yeah. But there's so much good content from good traders and stuff out there. Find what works for you, and then start becoming profitable. And it's not easy. You will fail, but that's part of getting back up as well. So, yeah, good year, 1.2 million. By the end of like next year, we need to have done like nearly 5 million. So I think that's what the projection's going to be with the way we're sort of growing and that. So, yeah, a lot more stories to come.
We'll leave it there. Nice one. Cheers, mate.